Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, and let me tell you, it is an absolutely beautiful day, but a wild day to be a soap fan. So, let's start with the absolute disaster that is Alex Kyriakis. And I mean disaster. On Thursday, July 23, we see Chad DiMera stepping up to play the sympathetic ear for Alex. And honestly, Chad deserves a medal for listening to this mess. Alex is completely caught in the middle of his wife Stephanie and Joy Wesley, the mother of his baby. You guys know the history here. Joy showed up with baby Kelsey, and it just destroyed Stephanie's fragile state of mind. But Alex is just venting to Chad about how hard it is to balance these two women. And I am sitting here screaming at the screen because Alex, buddy, your wife literally deleted a medical emergency voicemail about your daughter. How are you still asking for advice? But Chad is a good guy. Chad is just sitting there, probably thinking about his own messy love life, trying to guide Alex through this minefield. But on the flip side of town, Brady Black is doing the exact same thing for Stephanie. Belle is being the ultimate shoulder to cry on. Stephanie is just letting it all out, venting all her frustrations about Joy and Alex and the baby. And part of me feels bad for Stephanie. I really do. She has severe PTSD from the whole Owen Kent kidnapping nightmare. That trauma is real, and it messes with your head. But then I remember what she did. She deleted a voicemail from Joy when Joy and Kelsey were in a literal car crash. Who does that? What kind of person does that? So while Belle is sitting there offering all this comfort and guidance, I am just rolling my eyes. Stephanie is so grateful for Belle's support, but let's be real. How much more of this marriage can actually survive? The spoilers say Alex and Stephanie are going to face even more hurdles. I mean, what else could possibly go wrong? Maybe I'm being too harsh on Stephanie. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. She is making catastrophic choices right now. And you just have to wonder what the writers are thinking with this whole love triangle. It feels so clunky sometimes, but it also feels like classic Salem drama. You have the good girl going off the deep end, the baby mama who might be manipulating things, and the guy who is just completely clueless. I feel like Alex is just walking around in a daze half the time. He loves that baby so much. He has all those abandonment issues from his biological mother, Angelica Devereaux, so he is fiercely protective of Kelsey. And Stephanie just can't handle it. The fans on social media are completely divided on this. Some people hate Joy, some people hate Stephanie. I just think it's a huge mess that is going to end in tears for everyone. I mean, who actually believes this is going to end well? No one. And speaking of Chad and Belle, can we just appreciate the irony here for a second? Chad is advising Alex, and Belle is advising Stephanie. Chad and Belle just had this massive romantic 4th of July date where they kissed under the fireworks. They are starting their own new chapter together. And now they are both playing therapist to a married couple that is completely falling apart. It is almost funny in a really sad way. Chad knows all about complicated family dynamics, being a DiMera and all, and Belle knows all about messy marriages. So they are actually the perfect people to be giving advice right now. But honestly, I don't think any amount of advice is going to save Alex and Stephanie. The damage is just too deep. So let's pivot to something a little more positive. Or maybe not positive, but definitely romantic. Shawn Brady and Jada Hunter. Oh man. On Thursday, Shawn is going to make a massive confession to Jada. He is going to lay all his true feelings right out there on the table. And we all remember what happened on the 4th of July, right? The 250th anniversary fireworks were going off all over Salem, and Shawn and Jada were making their own fireworks. They hooked up, and it was hot. But now Shawn is catching some serious feelings. The spoilers say it might be a little too soon for him to drop the L-bomb, but he is definitely going to admit that he is falling hard for her. He is totally smitten. And honestly, I am here for it. Shawn has been through the ringer. His history with Belle is just so toxic and exhausting. They have broken up and gotten back together 1,000,000 times. And Jada is just such a strong, amazing woman. She is a detective. She takes no nonsense, and she deserves a good guy. But I have to second guess myself here. Is Shawn actually ready for this? He just got out of the hospital not that long ago. He has a lot of baggage, but Jada seems to ground him. I just hope she feels the same way. If she rejects him, Shawn is going to spiral again, and I just cannot watch that happen. But I think she is into him. I really do. They have this easy chemistry that just works. Okay, now we have to talk about the dark stuff. The really crazy stuff. Kristen DiMera. So, Brady Black is going to get super suspicious on Thursday when he sees Kristen having this incredibly emotional, tearful moment with their daughter, Rachel. They are at Bayview because Rachel is still recovering there. And Kristen is hugging Rachel, talking all about this bright, beautiful life she wants her daughter to have. She is laying it on thick. And Brady is just standing there, watching this, and his alarm bells are ringing loudly. Brady knows Kristen better than anyone. He knows that when Kristen starts acting like a normal, loving mother who is at peace, something is terribly wrong. And Brady is right to be worried. He thinks this looks exactly like a goodbye, because it is a goodbye. Brady knows that Kristen is currently tangled up in a massive, chaotic mess with E.J. DiMera. E.J. is out for blood because Kristen targeted Johnny and Sydney. You do not mess with E.J.'s kids. So Brady is putting 2 and 2 together. He figures Kristen is about to skip town to escape E.J.'s wrath. And Kristen is probably going to deny it to his face. She always does. She will probably just play it off or ask Brady to watch over Rachel for a little while until she can come home. But Brady isn't stupid. Well, sometimes he is, but not right now. He knows she is running. And let's not forget the sick irony here. Rachel is grieving because her best friend Sophia is dead. And Kristen is the one who bashed Sophia's head in with a rock and threw her in the river. Kristen is comforting the daughter she secretly traumatized. It is so twisted. But here is where the story goes completely off the rails, into pure, vintage, days of our lives insanity. You guys are not going to believe this plan. Kristen isn't just running away. She is planning to swap places with Lexie Carver. Yes, Lexie DiMera Carver. Let me explain this because my brain is still spinning. We all know Lexie's resurrection serum failed. Dr. Rolf's Versavix, too, was a complete bust. Lexie just collapsed in front of Abe and Theo, and her terminal illness is back in full force. She is dying. Again. and it is absolutely heartbreaking. So Kristen, in her twisted, psychopathic mind, comes up with this grand scheme. Kristen's plan is to swap places with Lexie. She wants to smuggle Lexie out of Salem and take her to the DiMera family's private island. The idea is that Lexie can die in peace on the island, far away from all the hospital machines and the drama. And in return, Kristen gets to use the swap to completely disappear and escape EJ's revenge. Kristen thinks this is a win-win. She thinks that by the time EJ figures out the old switcheroo, she will be long gone, sipping cocktails on a beach somewhere, plotting her next move against him. I mean, what were they thinking? This is so dark and so crazy, but it is so Kristen. She always finds a way to use someone else's tragedy to save her own skin. And the most gut-wrenching part of all of this, while Kristen is setting up this insane swap, Lexie is spending what might be her final moments with Abe. The spoilers say that Lexie and Abe are going to exchange rings and vows. It is going to be this incredibly warm, beautiful, tear-jerking moment between them. Abe is just so happy to have his wife back. He just made peace with Theo a few episodes ago after that whole mess where Abe teamed up with EJ to block Theo from the CEO spot. The Carver family is finally united, and Abe has no idea. He has absolutely no idea that Lexie is secretly preparing to vanish with Kristen. Lexie is saying her vows, knowing she is about to leave him forever so she can die on a remote island. I am honestly crying just typing this. It is so cruel to Abe. He has been through enough trauma to last a lifetime. But let's zoom out for a second. We all know how these plans go. The spoilers explicitly say that things are not going to go as planned in the upcoming episodes. Kristen is so arrogant. She is so sure she has all the angles figured out. But she doesn't. Something is going to blow up in her face. Maybe EJ catches them before they can leave. Maybe Abe figures it out and stops them. Or maybe Lexie's condition deteriorates too fast for them to even make it to the island. Whatever happens, this is going to be a massive explosion. EJ is already furious. If he finds out Kristen tried to use his dying sister to escape him, he might actually kill her this time. The fans on social media are going to lose their minds over this. And I just have to say, this storyline is why I keep watching. It is messy. It is clunky. It makes me want to pull my hair out, but I care so much about these characters. The history with the DiMera family, the constant resurrections, the tragic romances. It all just hits so hard. I am going to be glued to my screen on Thursday to see how this all plays out. Brady needs to stop Kristen. Someone needs to tell Abe the truth. And Alex just needs to get a clue. Honestly. Okay, I need to go take a breath because I am way too stressed out about a soap opera. But you guys know how it is. Let me know what you think in the comments.